Shalom. Before we get started with the lesson, we always gotta say, Call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's our praise to the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose true name is Yahweh Shai, who is the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true Israelites according to the Bible. That is your Savior. That is who you need to be looking towards to come back and save you. Not some white homosexual guy with a lily in his mouth, because that's not who's coming back to save you. And I also like to give double honors and salutations to the elders that rule well, and peace and salutations to the Akim that's pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. But without further ado, let's get into this lesson. Basically, kind of what I wanted to go into today, basically was being a saint. What does it take to be a saint? Why is it important to know what it takes to be a saint? Because that's what we all should be striving for, is to be doing what the saints are doing in the Bible, right? And you might ask, well, why would I want to be a saint? Well, we're going to get into some precepts dealing with why it's important to know what a saint is supposed to be doing in these last days. Why is it important to know basically what the saints are supposed to be doing in these last days? Well, let's get a precept. The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. Daniel chapter 7 verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. So this is why it's important to know what the saints are doing in the last days, and why it's important for us to strive to be doing what these saints are supposed to be doing, simply because these are the individuals that's going to take the kingdom. So if you want the kingdom, then you need to be doing what the saints are doing in the Holy Scriptures, right? But if you don't know what the saints are doing in the Holy Scriptures, then you won't know what you need to be doing in order to take this kingdom, right? Keep reading now. And possess the kingdom forever. So not only are the saints going to take the kingdom, but the saints are going to possess the kingdom forever. Forever. And that's that everlasting kingdom under Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? Even forever and ever. And it's just showing you basically that they're going to rule forever. So it's putting extra emphasis on it. So that's why it's saying even forever and ever. Because the saints are going to rule the kingdom forever, right? So first off, let's find out what this word saint, even really truly means, right? Okay, let's click saint. All right. I could just get one right here. Let's see. Okay. This'll do.
Strong's H 6944. Kodesh.
Yes, right. So apartness, holiness, sacredness, separateness, being separate, right? Apartness, holy of God. Go down here. Consecrated thing, dedicated thing. Dealing with, as you can see, being separate, holiness, things like that. So who in the scriptures are eligible to be saints? Well, let's get a couple precepts to see who can actually be saints, because saints are actually a specific group of people or saints, right? So let's get Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5, right? Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5, it states, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice." So who made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice, right? Let me see. Where is it at? Exodus chapter 24, and let's start at verse. Where I want to start. Verse 5. It says, Exodus chapter 24 and verse 5. And he set young men of the children of Israel, which offer burnt offerings and sacrifices, peace offerings of oxen unto Yahweh. Let's read. Let's keep reading and see. So we see that the children of Israel are making sacrifices to the Most High, right? And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood, and he sprinkled on the altar. Verse 7. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all Yahweh has said will we do and be obedient. So as you can see, they made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice. Let's keep reading. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with you concerning all these words. So as you can see, the Israelites are the ones that made a sacrifice to the Most, made their sacrifice to the Most High. Go back to 50. Psalm chapter 50 and verse 5. So now you can understand this. Psalm chapter 50 verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So you see that happen in Exodus 24. Right? And so the Israelites are the ones that can be the saints, right? But who are these individual saints that are taking the kingdom, right? What are they doing to take the kingdom, right? Well, let's read. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9 through verse 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So the true saints of the Most High God are righteous, and they're waiting on judgment. You know, they believe in a balance. They don't believe in this forgive and forget bullcrap that a lot of so-called Christians say they believe in. If you're a real saint of the Most High God, you want to take the people that took you into captivity, and you want the people that killed you to be put to death, right? And why? Why is that? Well, let's get 2 Thessalonians. Let's get 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6 to find out why this is something that should be wanted. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6, seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulations to them that troubled you. So all of the so-called white man, the so-called Japanese man, really all these other nations that took the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans into captivity, they got to pay for it, and that's a righteous thing to recompense tribulations to them that trouble you, right? And I'm going to show you that it ain't just the so-called white man. All these nations had a part in taking the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans into bondage, right? It's not just the so-called white man. That's just the most prevalent devil that we see in our face today, but it's not the only devil that you see in your face today. So don't be fooled and trusting your enemies and saying, well, I don't fuck with the white man, but I fuck with the Japanese man and the Moabite man and the Arab and the East Indian. No, don't deal with any of your enemies, man. Don't show these goddamn devils any pity, because the Most High God told us not to show these devils any pity. But let me get 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10, right? It says, what nation has not had a part in her kingdom and gotten her spoiled? So all these nations done spoiled us, so they deserve to get spoiled, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is why the saints are wanting that, because that's a righteous thing from the Most High God to recompense them, because all these other nations, they done basically destroyed us, took us into slavery, done spoiled us, and then got rich off of us and waxed extremely rich off of us and built kingdoms off of the backs of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, Right. So it's gonna come a period of time to where they're gonna be our slaves and they're gonna be our captives, and that's a righteous thing, right? But that's not the only thing that the saints. That's not the only thing that the saints are just thinking about in their head. It's other stuff that the saints are thinking about in their head as well too, and things that the saints are doing. So let's get Revelation chapter 14 and verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. So here we go again with what the patience of the saints, right? Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahushua. So that's another thing that these saints have. These saints are Israelites. These saints are waiting to take their captor into captivity, and for their captor to be killed with the sword like they killed him with the sword. And also the saints are keeping the commandments of the Most High God and the faith of Yahushua, right? Because they also understand the importance of faith, right? Which is very, very important, right? So all of these things, when you striving for perfection, well, really we can be perfect. Well, when you striving in this truth to do the best that you can do, right? You need to be thinking about these things on a day-to-day basis, right? Are you doing these things because you want to possess the kingdom, you want to take the kingdom, but how you gonna take the kingdom and you not lining up with what the scriptures is saying the saints will be doing, which are the individuals that will possess the kingdom, right? So as you are thinking in your day-to-day life about the kingdom, you're trying to get to the kingdom. Well, you need to be doing these things in order to make it to that kingdom, right? But back to dealing with the faith and the works, right? Let me see what I want. We're gonna get James chapter 2 verse 17. Even so, faith, if it has not works, is dead being alone, right? So we know faith without works is dead. But we know that we're gonna get verse 22 now. James chapter 2 verse 22. Seeing thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect. So we know that faith and works together, that's perfection, right? That's how Abraham was made perfect. So we want to be like Abraham, right? Which Abraham was called the friend of God, which I'm gonna get that as well too. And the scriptures was fulfilled, which said Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. So that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? Because really, to be honest, Abraham is a saint. You see what I'm saying? Abraham is an example in the scriptures of a righteous man, right? And that got blessed by the Most High God. So, if we follow in righteous man's footsteps, then we'll get some of the same things that these righteous men got, right? You know what I'm saying? And mainly what we're gonna receive is that blessed and that righteous kingdom that's promised to us, right? Let me see. I had a little, I don't know where this is. Lord willing, y'all just bear with me. Let me see. They put their trust in him, shall understand the truth, and such be faithful and love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints. And okay, this is another good thing right here. I get this. I wasn't looking for it, but it fits in with the lesson. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. So you got to put your trust in him, and then when you put your trust in the Most High, you're going to understand the truth, right? Because Slakia. So you're going to understand the truth, right? And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints. Grace and mercy is to his saints. So if you're not his saint, then you getting the backhand of that. So if you're not getting grace and mercy, what are you getting? Let's keep reading. And he has care for his elect. Watch this. But this if you're not a saint, though. So this is why it's very important to strive to be doing what the saints are doing, right? Lord willing, you be a part of that number, that 144,000, or that 1/3 that elect, and then you walk into that kingdom, right? But this would happen if you're not a part of what the saints is doing. But the ungodly, the people that's not the saints, shall be punished according to their own imagination, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. And we know it's a frightful thing to, to have to take that judgment of the Most High God. You don't want that judgment. You want to escape that judgment, right? So since you want to escape that judgment, what must you need to be doing? Well, what you need to be doing is doing what the saints are doing, right? Salakia. Let's go back to chapter 5. Thought I could find something here, but let's see. Gun. Let's see. Hold on, Salakia. Alright, let's go back to chapter 5 in Wisdom of Solomon. Kind of wanted to get some of this right here. This is another beautiful example of what the saints will be doing in the last days, right? Because a lot of people think that these pastors, these mega churches, some people really think that these are the true saints of the Most High God. I'm gonna show you. Well, matter of fact, the scriptures is gonna come out and it's gonna prove to you that these people in these mega churches, these people that's getting all this love, these people are really not the saints of the Most High God. They just don't fit any the credentials that the scriptures is telling us what the saints will be doing. And this right here is a beautiful example in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verses 1 through verse 5. It's a beautiful, beautiful example of what the saints will be enduring in these last days, man. The saints gonna be going through some hell, man. And these verses right here finna show. Look at this. It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 5. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1 through verse 5. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. So we already know that the saints are being righteous, right? Before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. So when you read verse, we'll just get to it. I'm gonna show you that this is the saints, right? But you see, the righteous man is gonna stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflict him. So, the brothers, when we be out there on the street corners, rebuking the devil, teaching the truth of the Bible, whether these people like it or not, we staring the devil straight in his face, the so-called white man, the so-called the Arabs, the Japanese, the Chinese, all these other nations that have afflicted us and have waxed rich off of us, and we go out there and tell them to their face that they the goddamn devil and they gonna be our slave, man. That's something that righteous men are supposed to be doing. So don't be scared to go out there and be righteous, man. You got to gird up your loins like a man and go out there and teach this word in truth and sincerity, man. That's something that the saints of the Most High God are going to be doing, and I'm going to prove it. Let's keep reading. Verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. And that's what these devils be doing. They be in shock. They be sitting there like, man, I cannot believe this Israelite is telling me the truth. I can't believe he know these scriptures like this. You know what I'm saying? They really can't believe it. They can't even understand, can't even comprehend how a group of niggas and nobodies and the minorities in the bottom of society can understand these scriptures. It's amazing to them. Let's keep going. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. They're going to be shocked when we get saved up out of this thing, man. Lord willing, I be part of the elect, and Lord willing, the audience, y'all be part of the elect as well. So far beyond all that they look for. They wasn't looking for us to get saved. They didn't care about us. They didn't give a damn about us, right? Verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We was a proverb to them. We wasn't nothing but a nigga, a spick, a nobody to them, man. A monkey, a nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how we were, man. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? A group of nobodies, low lives. You know what I'm saying? But these same low life, these same niggas, these same spicks, these same Indians, what they call Native American Indians, which means savages. These same savages, guess what? These are the ones that's gonna get saved. Let's keep reading. We fools. See, now they're going to realize, damn, we were foolish. We were foolish. You know what I'm saying? We fools accounted his life madness. They looked at us like these niggas are mad in the street. You know what I'm saying? They are mad. And his end to be without honor. They thought our end was going to be without honor, right? How is he numbered among the children of God? So they're going to wonder. They're going to be like, how in the world is this individual, these men that was teaching on the street corners, that was telling the white man telling the white man to bow down and kiss the boots and all this, and we thought these people were crazy and they didn't know what they was talking about. These are the people that's the children of God, and his lot is among the saints. So you see that the saints are going to be doing all of this. They're going to be going out boldly rebuking the people that afflicted them, right? So wait a minute, do Creflo Dollar, do TD Jakes, Eddie Long, do these individuals go out to the street corners and rebuke their oppressors and the people that afflicted them? No. So what does that prove? These ain't the saints, man. These ain't the saints of the Most High, man. Let me get some more, right? Show the affliction of the saints. The saints are going to be going through it, right? You know, the saints not just going to have it easy, right? Look at this. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 6. And I saw the woman. What's this woman? This woman is dealing with America, right? Babylon, the whore, right? It says, drunken with the blood of the saints, right? Drunken with the blood of the saints. This woman done killed the saints, right? She murdering the saints, right? And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. They killing off the prophets, right? They done killed the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? The blood of the saints. They was killing us all up and through slavery. Look at what they did to Nat Turner. Look at what they did to Emmett Till. Look at what they did to George Floyd, man. And who are the saints? The saints are the Israelites, right? The ones that made a covenant with him by sacrifice, right? So that's how they killing the saints, right? And Jacob's trouble, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna get worse because we already know as time goes on, these times are gonna get worse. It's gonna start amping up. So saints need to be prepared and be ready, man, because we got to be ready to die for this truth. You know what I'm saying? We got to put our lives on the lines for this truth, man. This is a serious work out here, man. And we understand. Let's get Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. We understand this right here. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. This the saints. The saints is going to be suffering. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So this is what the saints is going to be going through, man. Saints is going to be going through hell, man, in this end time, man. We already going through hell, but it's really going to get amped up, man. It's really going to get amped up. So this is what this is the characteristics of the saints according to the scriptures, not according to what comes out of a lot of people's wicked hearts, right? Because a problem with a lot of people, man, a problem with a lot of people is this right here. They're not doing this enough. You know what I'm saying? This Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through verse 6, trust in Yahweh with all thine heart. They're not doing it. A lot of people are not trusting in Yahweh with all their heart. And lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So understand, we can't lean unto our own understanding. We got to trust in Yahweh with all thine heart. You know what I'm saying? And everything we do, man, every little step we take, man, we need to be understanding that we need to be acknowledging the Most High God. And if we acknowledge the Most High God, like it says right here, and he shall direct thy path, right? So he's going to direct your path, but you got to be doing that. But that's what the saints are going to be doing in the last days. The saints are the Israelites, keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, suffering persecution and tribulations, looked at like they're damn crazy. You know what I'm saying? These are what the saints are looked gonna look like in the last days, right? You see what I'm saying? Um, but I hope the lesson was edifying to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say again, call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, because without the Most High, none of this would be possible. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, I want to say shalom to the Akim out there, and also the Akwathium out there.